Hello, everybody. As always, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. I am Coach Paul, and this is the Ola Prime Market News Update. For the U.S. equity futures markets, we continued our bullish sentiment. The S&P 500 futures gained 0.35% today, reaching the 6530 level. The Nasdaq behaved similarly, gaining about 0.38% on the day and currently trading at 23,888. And the Dow Jones was the least of the three, but still gained about a quarter of a percent and is currently trading at 45,680. On the international market news front, this evening we have China CPI and PPI year-over-year figures coming out at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. South Korea's unemployment rate data came in at 2.6% this evening, worse than the expected rate of 2.5%. And as another little tidbit, Donald Trump states trade negotiations with India are still continuing. Moving on to our USD futures FX pairs, we had the US dollar showing some broad based strength today after a couple of weak sessions amongst the futures currency pairs. Euro USD fell 0.5% back into its previous 1 month range and is currently trading at 1.1703. CAD USD logged up 0.3% and is 0.3% loss and is currently trading at 0.7223. The GBP USD pair lost a little more than 0.1% and is currently trading at 1.3528. The Swiss franc fell 0.55% versus the US dollar and currently trading at 1.255 as of this writing. The Japanese yen, was basically flat on the day, trading during this trading session, and currently trading at 147.43 yen to the US dollar. AUD USD was one of the least losers of the USD pairs today, losing about 0.15% on the day, closing at 0.6585 and currently trading about at the same level. And lastly, the New Zealand dollar remains in its larger bearish channel that we've been stating over the last month or so and has lost 0.25% against the US dollar today, with the pair currently trading at 0.5923. On the cryptocurrency front, they were a little bit mixed today. Bitcoin is down about 0.6% and is currently trading at $111,416, while Ethereum is up 0.25% and currently trading at $4,308. We also have Litecoin, roughly up. Apologies here. We have Litecoin. Apologies, 1 second, folks. Litecoin is down 0.5% and trading at $111.91. XRP is down about 1%, trading at $2.94. And Solana is up about 0.55%, trading at $216.85. On the commodities front, we had gold futures reaching an all-time high of $3,715 per troy ounce today, but retreated from those highs and closed at about $3,663 on the session. The gold futures are currently trading roughly around the 3675 area as of this writing. Silver futures had a larger loss on the day of about 1.35% and are currently trading at around $41.38 per troy ounce. WTI crude oil futures gained about 0.5% on the day and are currently trading just above the $63 per barrel level. And then lastly, for the key events happening tomorrow, we have the highly anticipated PPI data, which is the core PPI and the regular PPI month over month, coming out at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, as well as the 10-year note, the 10-year U.S. note auction coming out at 1:01 p.m. Eastern Time. So Without further ado, it is time for our Quiet Markets live trading session with both myself and Coach Tiger. So let's get to the trading, folks.
Hey,
Coach Tiger. Hey,
what's
brother. How
going
you
on, my
doing?
friend? It's another
Nothing
beautiful day in
much.
paradise, my guy. How's everything your
Same,
way?
same. Fantastic. Good trading day. Definitely a good trading day. I was up about 350 on the day, so coming into this session. So definitely pleased with the trading. I mostly traded the ES, and I did actually trade a little bit of the Russell today, which was a new one there.
Ah,
So trade a little bit of the Russell, a little bit of the ES, and a little bit of gold. But yeah, pretty great, man. How about you? How's everything going? How was the morning session for you?
oh, it was great. It was great. Yeah, I ended up getting into one trade, and it's rolling along pretty good right now. Actually, it's kind of funny. It's British pound, Japanese yen pair. I got into it long, and so I got into it on my GUI trades account, my Hola Prime account, and by the time I made it to my main account, because this is one that I liked good enough to put on all my accounts. So by the time I got to my other account to put in the same trade, I got a way better fill. So
Mm,
that one is doing way better right now than the Ola Prime. But yeah, still up a little bit on the Ola Prime account. Um,
nice.
but on my other account that shall remain nameless. Seems like I'm up about nine. It's kind of hovering between $900 and $1,000 unrealized at the moment. So I'm just trying to break a little bit of a triangle at the moment so that I can feel a little better about it.
Yeah,
But yeah, at this point we're
nice.
about 1.75 to 1. So I went ahead and moved my stop loss to get me a cup of coffee. Worst case scenario, but yeah,
Heck yeah.
it's looking pretty well. So I was able to sleep during the day easy. So, and I got a much better fill on, or a good fill on one of the two. The thing
Yeah,
is,
yeah.
I had a couple demand zones that I was keeping an eye on, and on the well on the GUI trades account, I jumped on the top demand zone, and then yeah, by the time I made it over to my other one, it had dropped, and I included both zones as far as my stop loss underneath on the GUI trades, just because I felt pretty good about the second zone and back end. If you don't mind, just flip on over and I'll just show what I'm talking about real quick out of my chart.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
felt pretty good about it. So I thought, well, we'll jump on that first zone, and then yeah, it was just, I guess you could say it was a little bit of an experiment. So I was taking the first zone on GUI, and then I was taking the higher, what I call the higher probability zone on my other one. So it worked out well.
Mm,
Um, but yeah, I got pretty close to the well, no, never mind. Yeah, because I put my stop loss under both zones. So yeah, it's looking pretty good. But yeah, as far as pound yen, still getting a nice bullish rating, bullish score of a 7. So yeah, that was one of my top alerts I have set, and I've got quite a few alerts going on. Probably something like
yeah.
30, 25 alerts. So yeah, I got a healthy watch list this week, unlike the previous couple weeks. So, but yeah, as far as this British pound yen trade, I was looking at it on let's see here. So I was looking at this 30-minute candle right here. at the bottom of the swing
Yeah.
low, and I went ahead and incorporated these wicks just to give it a little bit more wiggle room. So yeah, I've got obviously a stop loss just below that area right there.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I did was, as price came in, I got into it. Like I said, I got into it on, actually, let me back up because I just said I had a couple zones. So this was the first zone I was looking at. Now, I wasn't 100% confident in this one because the volume wasn't the greatest on that gap up that we had Sunday on market open right here. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you can just see there wasn't much volume at all, but it was a really strong novice gap nevertheless. So definitely was anticipating it to be closed and then keep on going up, since on a higher time frame, yeah, we've just been in a nice uptrend. So we kind of,
Mm-hmm.
what we did was, let me see here, let me go to a 4 hour. We kind of made this, get my drawing tool real quick, kind of made a little bit of a cup pattern.
Okay.
If I can find, just kind of this little setup like this, right? So, and I think you and I were talking about this last time. I don't normally, look that deep into these cup and handle patterns and flags and pennants, but I mean,
Yeah.
for those cup and handle traders, I mean, there you go. You got the cup and then you got the little handle. So it just dropped
Right.
nicely into my zone. So just
Right.
jumped on it. I mean, I felt pretty good. Pretty much the positioning of that is kind of what I was looking at, kind of that cup and handle inadvertently. I mean,
Cool.
because I saw this, we had that spike up, drop, base, move up. So, drop, base, rally on a little bit higher of a time frame. Probably look better on a daytime,
Mm-hmm.
actually. Yeah, daytime chart. So there you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's pretty much what I was looking at. Now, going back to the zone though, yeah, it was that Sunday gap up that we had, a real strong gap up. I mean, that's like 80 pips gap. That's a really strong gap. So yeah, I just basically took that first demand zone bounce and then I put my stop below. I started with my stop under this, but I put a small position on this on purpose because I wasn't quite sure if I wanted to leave my stop up here where I initially had it, right? Or if I wanted to drop it. So I purposely put in about a half a position. Um, and I probably could have even added to it here, which was kind of my plan, but I got so busy on my other one, since it's a much larger account size, I was just focused on it. So I didn't get into that second position down here, but it's okay. Profit is profit. Not a whole lot of money at the moment on that, but I'll
Yeah.
actually show this price action on that lower zone on this other chart just to give you a little better perspective. So pound yen, go pull that up real quick. When I looked at the pound yen on the smaller time frame, I also observed that we had a 15-minute demand inside of that higher time frame demand inside of the 1 hour. Yeah, so we had a 1 hour demand candle, and then we had that 15-minute demand inside. That's the perfect confluence I love to see, and as you can see, I mean, it just wicked in perfect. It just bounced nicely. So on my other account, I got in right about this level here. It was basically somewhere in this. Come on, tool, where you at? There we go. So I basically, something's been acting up with my tools lately. I don't know what it is, but yeah, I basically got in right about there. Something like that.
Okay.
I believe that's what it was. So let me look at yeah. So just a much better fill. I mean, like I
Yeah.
said, about $945 at the moment, unrealized. So
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
that was the
beautiful,
higher
man.
quality.
That's a big boy
Yeah, higher
trade.
quality.
That's a big boy.
Yeah, it is. But a higher quality demand zone down here. And I don't know what's going on with my magnet tool. It keeps drawing my goodies everywhere. Weak magnet, maybe that's what it is. Yeah, there we go. That's a little better. I clicked a button by mistake earlier, and every time I was putting up a rectangle for my supply and demand zones, it was acting up. So I must have moved it from weak magnet to strong magnet mode. So there we go. That should be better. But then, but yeah, on the other brokerage, after I got about one and a quarter, 1.5 to 1, I went ahead and moved my stop loss up to, yeah, just basically in this area here. Let me look here again. Actually, a little higher up. Yeah, it looks about right. I think so. I put it right here just to kind of allow for this little top here, just in case price were to come down and bounce.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's where I currently sit. It's working beautifully. I know we kind of talked the other last night about how I kind of went through and rejuvenated my zones, just finding the higher quality zones with the fair value gaps and the closest to the origin of that strong move. And yeah, so far I'm 2 out of 2 on these time frames. So
Nice.
pretty good, man. I'm pretty excited about it actually,
Yeah.
and also feeling
Yeah.
kind of silly. Like, how could you forget about? How could you not allow for the noise on the smaller time frames? But it is what it is. Trading is full of things that you got to remember and be consistent at, and sometimes little things like that slip. So that's good though, because
Yeah.
it forces us to go and reevaluate. Make sure that we're on top of our game. It's tough to stay on your game, especially if you start running into an issue with like losses here and there. You try to, we all try to do it, whether we want to admit it or not. We might try to change things, even though, at the end of the day, we just got to dance with the one that brought us, right? Where
Yeah,
did
man.
we where
Yeah,
did we
for
get
sure.
success? Where did we get our
Yeah.
success and stick with it and quit trying to change things? So yeah,
Yeah.
it's
I,
that's kind of where I sit right now. A little bowl full
I'm
of whatever you want to call it.
I'm long one micro gold contract. I know it's a super small position, but literally I just got long it like 3 minutes ago, and gold spiked up like $2 an ounce or $4 an ounce actually. Since then,
Yeah.
I'm up about $2 an ounce right now, so it's like about $20 at the moment. I let the production guys know that I'm in a position so that they can post it on the stream real quick. But
Oh, yeah, I
I've
got
got a
to
pretty
update
large,
mine this morning.
yeah, I've got a pretty large stop loss here. I'm trying to hold it for a longer period of time. Um, but
Got
I
us,
will say with all this volatility in gold, um, scalping feels a little bit safer. Like, you get in, you make a couple bucks per ounce, you get out, and then you just reassess, get back in if you need to. It makes me feel more comfortable doing that, but I'm trying to step out of my comfort zone here a little bit, and I'm trying to hold for like bigger pushes, especially on gold right now, where we're seeing larger moves occur. Um,
mm-hmm.
so yeah, I'm long at the moment here, seeing if we
Sweet.
can't continue to push up. We just took out some decent liquidity that was on the offer at around the 3,666 level. And we just actually came back down after getting through that area. There was a big bid that got
Mhm.
posted at the 366.65 level, and sellers came down and took that out. So it looks like there's a little bit of tug of war going on at the moment. But generally speaking, felt like we were starting to break trend a bit in gold here, and that we were going to start, going back to the upside. Um, maybe I can look here. Maybe hold on 1 second. On the let's see, where was it? Okay, here we go. So basically, this morning we had come back down to this level, about the 3666 area, early in the morning, and then we popped back up and then slowly trickled downwards throughout the rest of the day, spiked down here to 3650 ish before doing another bounce up here, and then we're coming back down. I feel like this just a larger move. We could be seeing a reversal, possible reversal. So decided to get long. And I put my stop below the low of this previous 30-minute candle here at 3658. So we'll see. We'll see if it works out. If not, we shall continue to look for opportunity. But especially like, right now, like for dude, it's this the volatility in gold is just so insane.
Yeah.
It's definitely good to uh, come down on your position, lower the position size. And if you want to trade gold, just because the moves that are occurring, you would think that, like, right now in the overnight session, you would think it's like normal trading hours at the moment with how much
Yeah.
it's moving. So
Wow, that's good.
definitely smart to keep. I've got, with one micro gold contract on right now, I've got about $70 of risk just for one micro gold. Like, that's ridiculous. I have to give this
Wow.
trade roughly like $8 per ounce, per troy ounce of room for it to just be able to move around. Like, $8 an ounce is a decent bit to just give it like
What's your
time to
what do
move.
you normally what is it normally about this time of day, rather than the $8?
Uh, well, what I'm used to with trading gold, generally speaking, before we went through all this volatility in the last like 2 weeks, I'm used to, having stops that are closer to like $3 per ounce, like, of a limit, and like
Oh, okay.
it's more than double that at the moment. So
Wow. That makes
because of the insane
yeah.
upside volatility, it's just like everybody is freaking out with gold. Like, everybody's buying it, and then you
Yep.
know with these
Yeah.
large new buyers coming in, possibly, maybe you see more like, sellers that are trying to take profit, and then the new buyers maybe get scared out, they sell out of their position, and then they come back. Like, there's just a lot of like indecision probably that's happening, um,
Hmm.
just generally speaking. So yeah,
Yep.
let's see if we can't pick this reversal here. Let's see if we can't pick the reversal to the upside. Maybe we get back up to 3,700. That would be pretty awesome if we saw that in the overnight session here. We see a $20 or $30 run per ounce in the next 2 hours. That would be pretty cool.
Yep.
But, you know,
Well,
who
it's
knows?
interesting. It's interesting you say that about everybody piling in on gold. Let me show my chart just for a quick second. Back in, I just want to show this gold history on the retail sentiment chart, just to get a little bit
Yeah.
better of an understanding of what they are doing of late. So, and then you can have it back, my friend. So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
let
Yeah.
me see here. That one. Yeah, so I basically, outside of the big banks, obviously the COT report showing that they've just continued to add in positions. Um, yeah, the retail sentiment. So just the regular Jack and Jill trader at home on their laptop or their smartphone. They were net long as of, let's see, a few days ago, and they're net
Hmm.
short. Back in, if you can, just move me over real quick. They've actually been declining. So they're actually trying to pick the tops. So what happens when traders pick the tops? Big banks
Right.
see that
Right.
they're probably gonna keep that up. So oh, okay. But yeah, this chart will make a little sense when we get it up. I love
Yeah.
these
Yeah.
charts on the retail sentiments too, and just like the big banks, the COT chart, looking at the history, because you can look at what price did relative to what obviously the COT report shows, or the sentiment, the retail sentiment, depending on what you look at. But
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
well, I can
do you
come back to that.
separate out the large speculators from the small speculator, like the like, you have the commercial side, and then you have the
Hmm.
speculator side, and then between the speculator side you have the larger speculators and the smaller speculators. Do you separate those two as well? And when you're talking about retail, or are you just talking about retail and speculators in general?
Well, the retail is just, yeah, the retail. The non-commercial is specifically what I track on the COT side, the COT report side.
Okay.
Yeah, the speculators,
Yes.
the
Okay.
institutions, hedge funds, all that kind of thing. The ones trying to make the money off of it, not the ones
Yeah,
hedging,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Um,
Because a lot of
but yeah,
people will like in that cot data, they will like separate out in the speculator side the like small
mhm,
speculators from the big
right.
ones, and they'll like look for confluence between the large speculators and the small speculators, along with whatever the opposite is of the commercial side and everything. And man, dude, my gold is getting annihilated right now. So I got to move this up a little bit here. We honestly, I'm gonna get long here right at the bottom, at this bottom tick, and gonna keep my stop at the same area. Very low risk to just kind of DCA myself into a decent position and have a much better average and only risk an extra literally $15 on the trade. So might get stopped out here though. To be quite honest, it's looking pretty bearish at the moment, and there wasn't like a bunch of trapped sellers at the bottom here at this 36.59 area.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Well, and
not too much hope. Not too much.
something is wrong with my volume spread analysis bar on gold for the daily time frame for some reason. It's not working. It's
Oh
working on the smaller time frames, but for whatever reason, the higher time frames, it's just not working. So I have to figure that out, but no big deal. I
yeah.
gotta have my volume. I gotta know. I just gotta know.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, I'm more interested right now in a smaller time frame anyway, so at least those work. If we can get
Yeah.
something,
Yeah.
something
Awesome.
but a ball.
Honestly, part of me is thinking to not even be super, to not be so, to not really be bullish at this point. I'm contemplating. Let's see what happens here. I mean, honestly, I'm just going to hold it, see if we can't literally get aggressive buyers to come up and push us above 36.64. If we get like a push up there and then we immediately start falling back, I might just move my stop to break even and be done with the position. But we really have to see a
Mhm.
push here right now. Volume is kind of dying out. Buyers don't look too great. They look like they want to give up. Geez, the bid offer is like just disintegrating at the moment, which is kind of interesting. So it feels like it's an easy, like the sellers could easily push this down if they just come in now. If they come in now, it looks, unless there's some crazy iceberg orders that I can't see, that some buyers are putting in, which it seems to be doubtful at the moment. Uh, Sellers shouldn't have too hard of a time pushing this, but I would love to be proven wrong, to be quite honest, because I would like this to start going in my favor. Come on, half bat
Hey, the
uh,
man.
pattern here. Give me the
Yep.
give me the failed H. Come on, give it to
Your
me,
favorite
please.
unfavorite pattern, right?
Exactly, exactly. I'll laugh if we pierce through though, and then reverse up after taking me out. That'll make me laugh, to be quite honest. Uh,
Uh,
but we are right underneath that 9 period EMA on the 1 minute here. We are holding that very well these last 5 minutes or so. Let's break through. Come on, buyers. Yeah, come on in. Join the party. Break, break up, break up. Words. Come on.
keep on
Look at that.
going.
Look at that nice hammer candle just coming in on the 5 minute here.
5 minutes.
Let's 5 minute candle just closed. Buyers were able to push up relatively respectfully from the bottom there after that 5 minute period. So can we reverse now? Can we reverse? We have an inverted candle of sorts where we saw sellers come down about 15 minutes ago, came down with a vengeance, pushed us down to retest relative low of 36.59, and then we have a regular hammer candle showing buyers kind of trying to fight upwards here to bring price back up. So this is very, very push and pull at the moment in a relatively wide $10 range on the gold contract here. Barely at break even right now. If we, like I said, if we can see some sort of reclaim of the 36.64 area, would really like to see 36.65. Just us pop through 36.65, and then I would move my stop to break even at this point. But it looks like it wants to give it a go. So come on,
What's up,
let's
Coach
do it.
Daryl? Coach Daryl's is here to cheer on your trade, cheer on our trades.
Come on,
All
Daryl.
right,
Give me some good luck here. Give
send
me
the
some,
juju,
yeah,
the good vibe. Help
yeah.
push my
The
pound
indices
yen up a
are
little.
the
Indices.
indices are looking slightly bullish as well. I don't know if that's really going to help out gold much or not. Um, I would think not, but um, the ES looks pretty decent. Like maybe the ES is a long here, to be honest. I think I might want to get long in ES
No.
during this time as well. So what are we at here? Hold on. Let me just quickly take a gander.
So while you're
Okay.
gandering, the put to call ratio on, let's see here, S&P is heavily skewed towards the call demands. Dow kind of in the middle, so that's more neutral. Nasdaq is actually in the high put demand, and
Okay.
then your Russell, and it's way over. Yeah, extreme fear for the Nasdaq. Yeah, it's above that high put demand line by a little bit, so might be a good buy sign there. And then
Yeah.
Russell's down at the high call demand, so that's more short bias, contrarian short bias.
Okay.
Yeah, just for context for you
All
there.
right. Yeah, yeah, no, that's good. That's good. That's good to know. Um, yeah, some aggressive sellers really trying to step in here on gold now. Really just came in nicely there.
And
Oof,
then
yeah,
gold
that
is
was a
neutral as far as their put to call ratio,
that
so not really getting a whole lot of
that
signal
makes
there.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, can buyers step up here? I don't know. That was a nice push by the sellers. That was a good amount of aggressive delta, negative delta there. Um,
Well,
all right, we'll see. We'll see. We shall
yeah.
see. And as I'm saying that, the ES is breaking out. So look at that.
There you
That's funny.
go.
I was
It's
looking
wait
at
until
getting
you're
in the ES.
watching gold, and it's going to take off
Yeah,
on you. It's keeping an eye on your trades, right?
yeah.
Like,
I'm
oh,
about to get
he's looking
stopped
at
out here,
gold. I'm
most
just going to
likely.
scoot on up. You were just kind of going for that Asian high profit. Oh no, a little lower actually. I see
Uh,
now. Or no, I guess that's closer up there, isn't it? Oh no, that's
yeah,
yeah,
it's
way up there.
relatively.
Pretty
Yeah,
much the Asian high.
looks like
What else?
gold
What else?
really wants to. Yeah, there we go. Okay,
Woo.
we're done now. It just wicked out that bottom there. Now, what I want to do is keep my eye on this, see if we don't
Mm-hmm.
have like a kind of like a pop back up here, and then
Just some
it's
liquidity
funny
sweep.
again, another like micro freaking head and shoulders down here at the bottom, which is hilarious. Um, yeah, let's see if the liquidity sweep is a real thing here or not.
Get you a little spring,
Uh,
right? I don't know how
look at
accurate it
that.
is or isn't on a 1 minute myself, so we'll
Ah,
find out. Well, looking good so far.
you talk about Yeah, yeah, like you can definitely with liquidity, like sweeps in general, it's very if it depending on the software you have, uh you can really tell whether it's going to be whether it's meaningful or not. Let's just put it that way. Um
Yeah. Okay.
this this looks this is
Looking very
looking
meaningful
like
at the moment.
yeah, this looks very good because like at the bottom of this candle here, there was a huge aggressive seller, and then as soon as that aggressive seller came in, it was like 125 contracts. We popped right back up, so it was like it was like almost like an exhaustion right there for about 1 minute
Mhm.
of time, and now what we need to see is whether or not that exhaustion is like longer lived and we just see a full reversal here, or whether or not okay, look at this, dude.
That's just beautiful. Yeah,
Isn't
Wyckoff
that insane?
accumulation 101 right there. Now you just need a
Yeah,
little
man.
pullback. Look at your 1 second chart and find a demand zone. Then you're good.
Yeah,
Just kidding about the
i
1 second.
definitely i
Actually,
definitely got I got in a little bit too late there on that buy for sure. I should have been getting in way quicker than that, but
yeah.
but you know, we'll see.
No, but that's beautiful. I mean, that's just beautiful how that's setting up like that.
That would have been a good scalp for somebody like really, that was really aggressive there. As soon as they started to see it jump up, you just get in and then you scalp out like $3 to the upside. But I
Yeah.
mean, this could easily just fail again. We could easily just see the sellers get aggressive and then we just keep breaking to new lows here. But trying to get some sort of reversal action here. I know that first attempt was a failed one, but we'll see. Not risking too much or anything. So again, a small trade, 2 micro gold contracts again, and we shall see. We will see.
Oh wow, yeah. Just off screen, I was looking at XAU USD, which obviously isn't 100% as close to your futures, but pretty close. And just for kicks, I was looking at the 1 second chart. So yeah, so you had that obviously that leg up that kind of pierced through that previous small little swing high, kind of in the middle of that chop
Yeah.
action. And then just for kicks, I thought, well, let's go down to a 1 second chart. This is on my other broker where I have the 1 second chart. Let's see if there's a 1 second demand. Sure enough, it came down, bounced right in, and now it's going back up again. Because that's typically how you would, yeah, that's typically, according to Wyckoff theory. I mean, that last four white can or the last, I should say, that big white candle up, and then the second one that had that strong wick up. Yeah, when you
You're
break
right.
that high point to the left, you just look for a simple retracement, and
Yeah.
yeah, it came down to basically 50% fib level of those two 1 minute candles. And yeah, it's kind of comical to see even on a 1 second chart, it bounced off of a so-called demand zone. I don't know how accurate that is on that, microscopic level or not, but it's just kind of
Right.
funny to
Right.
see it work out on a 1 second chart. So
That is pretty funny. I've never like looking at a one set. I haven't looked at a 1 second chart in like a couple weeks. I did it for fun the other day, and that is hilarious that it worked out on that. Like that's
I'll
funny,
take a
man. Look at
I'll
this.
take a
Look at this
screenshot of it
powerful.
just for whenever I hop on here in a minute,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
just for kicks. I'll just paste it over
So
here. That's
now
funny.
so now like with this move that's occurring, this feels like big sellers just got trapped. This feels like you could start to see short sellers, if they can't hold the 3667 area, to 3668. If we just see like a quick candle above that area, we could see sellers like kind of puke out of their positions real quick and a nice little run. um,
Ralph.
I'm I do need to look. I mean, that's what I definitely want that for sure. I want them to be Ralphin for sure. But we really need to see some like more buying pressure come in right now, because a decent bit came in just now, like in the last 2 minutes, but we kind of fizzled out just for this last like 30 seconds or so. I'm expecting is a little bit just a consolidation, and then buyers are just like, you know what? All right, let's punch this. Let's punch them in the
No.
mouth. Get to the upside. Let's pop above 36.68. Let's get it. Come on. Pop above
Well, looks
36.68. Get me there.
looks like you got
Get me
Coach
there.
Daryl in ES, long ES there.
I should have joined you. I should have joined you, Coach. I was literally looking at it, and I was looking at it at 65.32, and then I didn't pull the trigger, and I looked back at my gold position. Should have pulled the trigger and had the two positions on. So great trade there you got, being long the ES. I think it's looking good, but come on, let's have gold look good too. Come on, pop
Yeah.
up here. Come on,
Oh,
it's
get off
looking
my
decent.
screen. Sure is. Got a little bit
There
of
we go.
former support and resistance points to the left. Back on the 8th yesterday. Former
Yep.
former resistance becoming support, and then you got that support from the beginning of Asia, and that's basically what you're bouncing into. So yeah, we'll see if that can
Yep.
come into fruition and help you out on that.
Yeah. The largest offer right now is at 36.68. That level I'm talking about that we need to really pierce through. I think if we get through that, the next level that we have to get to is 36.74. That's where the most liquidity is stacked up at the moment. So we could really see a rip happen here. I have a good
Let her
feeling
rip,
about
tater
it.
chip.
That's going to be my new motto. Let her rip. I think that's it.
I
I
like
love
that one, and
that.
I like risk it to biscuit. Those are my two favorites.
Gotta risk it for the biscuit. Come on.
That's right.
Come on.
Hey, Paul, give me just a couple minutes, man. I'll be right back.
Yeah, yeah. You're good. No worries. Daryl, we're holding for a new all-time high. I mean, I I wouldn't be surprised, to be quite honest. I wouldn't be terribly surprised for that to happen. Um, Let me look at my market profile stuff. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't see a reason for it to not happen. I kind of like it. Maybe you see the run up to at least at least you just see a run up to the all time high before all this PPI stuff comes out tomorrow. Maybe we kind of just see the move right back up there, like kind of like uh, not buy the rumor, sell the news, but you know what I mean. Like retest an area, a previous all time high, and then the news comes out, and then maybe we retrace a little bit or something, or we just simply fully break out bullishly above it during the regular trading hour session. But wouldn't be surprised to see the overnight kind of migrate up there as a little test. I like it. I like it a lot. You know what I like better though? Not really. I don't like it better, but I do like this gold trade a lot. We need to see gold just come on. We got to slam through this 36.67 area. As soon as we just get right through this little bit of liquidity that we got, and then we just push through 36.68, I think the barn doors are open and we can run up to 36.74. I think it's really possible here. And I'm only in 3 micro gold contracts, and you can kind of see the the risk to reward here. I'm risking like 94 to make, just on micro gold contracts. I'm looking to try and make $500 on 3, and you know, this is why downsizing during higher volatility times is, I think, just a smart move, because you can still make a bunch of money on these micros, given this greater volatility. So, all right, we're seeing a little bit
Refresh.
of a little bit of downturn in the Nasdaq and the Dow. I mean, S&P has pulled back just a few points. No, nothing big. I see what you're talking about, Daryl, with the double top. Um, yeah, I mean, it could just be like a double top for now, and then a little bit more consolidation, and then we we retest like maybe the 5 minute 50 period EMA, which is about 65.30. We could retest like 65.30 to 65.32 area before ramping back up, breaking out of that double top, and then going to the all-time high. That's a possibility, I think. So I'm gonna move
We
this gold trade to break even, or slightly above break even, unfortunately, because it looks like it's starting to do a little bit of a round top motion, or a rounding top motion. So I don't want to
mm,
be subject to just like a absolute breakdown here in gold, as the indices are also turning a little bit. So I would like to just
yeah,
see
you did.
buyers step in right now.
Yeah, yeah. Just for a little more context, right there at the bottom of the hour, China did release their CPI and PPI year-over-year numbers. So PPI, they met
Yes.
expectations, minus 2.9, a little bit higher than last period's minus 3.6. CPI, they were down. So previous period was right at zero. They forecasted minus zero point 0.2, and the actual was minus zero point 0.4. So
Okay.
maybe perhaps that's why you got that little spike upward there at the bottom of the hour.
Huh. That's interesting. You would so if CPI was like better, well, I mean, I don't know what better than expected would necessarily be. Like if they had negative CPI, you said, like they had negative CPI year over
Yeah,
year. Is that what you were saying?
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. Yeah. Previous
with
zero,
with
forecast minus zero point 0.2, actual minus zero point 0.4. Yeah, showing as red for China. Not sure if that's
okay.
what caused that or not, but that's just the immediate
No,
news I saw.
I I think you're right, man. I think you're right. I think that got released, and I think that was at least part of it. That's a
Yeah.
good point. Very good point. Um,
What
come
did
on,
he
gold. Yeah, let's eat, eat your dinner,
eat?
eat your dinner. Go eat,
Break that top.
go
There you
eat your
go.
vegetables. Remember, you got to eat your vegetables first, and as soon as you're done eating the vegetables, then go at it. You know,
Yep.
what's the famous quote by Pink Floyd? You can't eat your pudding if you don't have any meat.
You can't
How
eat your
can you have?
pudding. How can you have your pudding if you don't eat your meat? Hey, you! Stand still, laddie. That right, Coach Daryl? That right? Did we get the words right?
Yeah, yeah,
Bravo Zulu, how
exactly.
you doing? Going great. Going great.
Hey, Tom. Yeah,
We're
great.
both,
Thanks for stopping
yeah,
in.
couple green days on our end, so it's a pretty good day, right?
Yeah,
Well,
for sure. Come on. Let's go. Gold. Bring it home. Come on. Boom. Reversal, big reversal. And now we're going to just eat through this 3668 area and then rock it up. Come on. We're right now 3668 on the 5 minute chart. We can see it on my, I think we're sharing my screen still, right? Yeah. This is the 50
yeah.
period EMA at the moment. So maybe there's a little bit of like technical resistance that you could be seeing on the trend at the moment at the 3668 area as well. So you've got a larger order there. We break through that and we close. Like, how much time do we have left before? We got 18
Was that the
seconds
micro
left.
or the
So
mini? Was that the micro or the mini?
this is the micro. This is micro.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
okay,
Yep.
perfect. Well, just for some more context, you do have a divergence on RSI, helping that out, helping the cause. Because just looking at the last
Okay.
hour, you got the RSI making higher lows. So perhaps that might help out with some momentum for you. Possibly.
Would love it. Would love
Well,
it. Little bit of a consolidation slash indecision 5 minute bar there, which is fine. It's okay. I mean, at least we're chilling at the top of the top of this like range of the last 40 minutes, and we're not like dropping drastically or anything within that 5 minute time period. So let's see if we can't step up. Come on. They got to make the push. If buyers, if you're going to make the push, you should do it in the next 3.5 minutes. So
Get to
let's do it.
pushing.
Get to
Push,
it.
push, push, push.
I was like, how's he doing that? And then I looked over at the screen and I saw you do it. I was like, dang, that sounds like he's like gargling water at the same time. That's some skill right there. Shoot. Man.
Well,
Come on. The sellers
uh,
are starting to come in a little aggressively here. Come on.
yeah. Yeah. Meanwhile, my pound yen trade on a 15-minute time frame is making a little bit of a triangle. So it's right at the almost to the intersection. So we're squeezing up to the bottom, squeezing up to the top, higher lows, a little bit lower highs. So any moment now, I should see some kind of a squeeze up or down, just depending on which direction of this ascending triangle it wants to break out of. So
Mm-hmm.
watching with anticipation to see if it wants to push right up to my profit target or take away a little of my profits unrealized at the moment. So watching with bated breath, I think I said that right. I don't know. Waiting with bated
Yeah,
breath.
yeah, yeah.
Watching with. Is that right? Okay.
Yeah, you got. I think that was right. Sounded good to me.
Coach Daryl says I nailed it. All right. Daryl. I used to have their greatest hits back when I like close to after a little bit after I graduated high school, and just fell in love with it. The Echoes album. Coach Daryl, you probably know, but yeah, just freaking fell in love with all those. Push it real good. I heard you,
Oh
Daryl,
man.
doing that on your stream a couple times. So good stuff.
Oh yeah. Uh, oh yeah.
But
Couple times. The guys singing it every damn 5 minutes. Yeah. But we
yeah,
love it though. It's always fun. It's always fun. We're always humming. I mean, well, not me, but everybody.
yeah.
Daryl, Adelina, Sam. They're always humming some tunes. I'm the.
Well, a
I
friend of
don't have
mine.
a good humming voice or anything, so I just sound like a baritone. Like I would destroy it. So I don't want to. I don't want to mess up what they got going on. That's actually a good
Yeah, a
thing.
friend of mine. One of my friends told everybody about me. Like every time we'd go party or what we do. He's actually one of my bowling teammates too. Go to tournaments, go to
Nice.
parties, whatever. He'd be like, "Tiger, silence is your kryptonite." Meaning, I don't know how to shut up. A lot like Coach Daryl, I think.
But it's a good thing, man. That's a good thing though. It's you guys are fun guys to be around, so that's not a bad thing at all.
We're fun guys.
Tom said I sang Celine Dion. Yeah, no, I did not. I mentioned there's no way I would. I said there's no way in heck I could ever even try to even hum a Celine Dion. There's just no way I can do it the disservice. I can't do that.
Oh,
Can't do
what's the
it.
timestamp? Because after our stream, I'm going to have to go watch it now.
Oh man, I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to train my voice for like 3 years in order to even be able to hum a Celine Dion song, let alone attempt to sing it. So,
Yep.
oh goodness.
That's
All right.
hilarious.
Well, I was within one tick of getting stopped out on that gold trade, and somehow it survived. It
Yeah.
somehow survived, and we are back
Yeah.
to the upside here. Sometimes you get graced, or you get blessed and graced with the good fortune of the markets, and I think that gold's given it to me here. So, can we in the next 3 minutes or 3 seconds? Yes, come on. We closed close to the top of that wick. Can we just now push through 36.68? Come on, buyers. Come on in.
Push.
Join the
So did
party.
that? Did your 9 EMA kind of help push that back up? Possibly 9 and your 21,
Uh
is it?
maybe. The 9 is trying to cross the 21 which is,
Yeah.
some would say is a good sign. Um, I usually don't look at the crossing of the EMAs to be like any sort of like entry point or anything. But
Hmm.
it, it looks a little bit more forgiving. Let's say it that way. Like, it could be a little bit of an extra added confluence for me having already been in the trade and seeing it, happen now. So come on, we're about to push, trying to get through this 3668 area. Come on, eat up the liquidity right there. Okay. Ate it. Just ate it. Okay.
There you
Come
go.
on. Now, there we are.
There she
There we are.
blows.
I'm going to take one. I'm going to take just one off. So I took one off. I secured $60 essentially, or $55
Mhm.
there. Keep the other two at this like break even area. And we're going to have the major profit target at that 3675 area. So come on, let's go.
Ooh, baby,
Push,
baby, baby,
push
baby.
it.
Bravo Zulu said, I got smoked earlier on £2 dollar trades on that lovely random jobs report that came out. Which jobs report was that? Uh, oh, are you referring to the revisions? Oh, maybe that's what you're. Are you talking about the 900,000 revision, Bravo? Yeah, that's kind of crazy. Or
Here we
800,000,
go.
900,000. Yeah, whatever it is. Can you imagine that?
Oh,
We pick on, or at least I pick on the economists all the time. As far as getting these reports accurate or inaccurate, like meteorologists, but they revised eight or 900,000, whatever it is, jobs down. And I don't know, was that over the course of like a year or something? I don't. I need to. I didn't. I need to finish that article. I kind of breezed through it. Dude, it whipped me out. Yeah, yeah. And those are the things you can't plan for, right? I mean, if it's not on the economic calendar, they'll just get kind of. We should be economists. Yeah. Well, I don't know, Bravo. I like just following price action, right? They don't pay me to come up with these numbers. They just pay me to follow price action. So kudos to the
all
guys
right.
and gals that do it. That's a lot of work, only to get yelled at by everybody when you miss up or down by a few. I don't know. Doesn't sound worth it to me. Probably make a heck of a
Yeah,
lot more
yeah.
money trading. Well, you can make a heck of a lot more trading and not have to put up with it. So I take their information, what right or wrong, I really don't care because I just kind of throw it into my, the collective whole of all the reports, fundamental reports, and just kind of look and see where is it favored? Is it down the middle? Are they wrong a lot more on one currency? Are they right a lot more on one currency? Right? That you add all that up, it's going to show if that's a strong currency or a weak currency. So just take that and pair it with take a strong currency, pair it with a weak currency, and vice versa. So, so I don't really care
I
what they
um
are, right, wrong, indifferent.
I did just take that position off after the wick up there. So I went from being down $90 to being up basically $90. So I was able to make
Okay.
180 off of
There
that,
you
or 190 off of that reversal trade there. So it ended up working out. The first trade, like, so I mean, essentially what happened was a pick, essentially a stop pick. I
go.
had
Mm-hmm.
my initial long in somewhere up in the 3664 area or 3665 area, and then I had the stop right at like 3658, and I got picked, and then got back in, and then the trade ended up working out here. But yeah, I mean, at least we got back in. We're able to make back the losses and some, and turn the night green so far. So pretty good trade. Glad that we were able to see that and find some confluence there, make the trade, keep
Mm-hmm.
the risk management relatively tight. Make sure that we didn't overexpose ourselves there. 3 contracts on the micros was plenty to play around with with this volatility on a challenge account. Um, so yeah, not too shabby.
Okay. So I did
Uh,
while you were going through your win there, I did just off screen look up the revision that Bravo was bringing up. So yeah, I
okay.
finally found it. Looks like the Bureau of Labor Statistics just revised down their jobs numbers, and this is from April of 2024 to March of 2025, just for context. So they revised it down 911,000. So that is the biggest revision on record. And let's see, another blunder in the lengthy history of inaccuracies with the BLS. That's the Bureau of Labor Statistics. So, and I think last year, weren't we saying the same thing? I feel like a year ago it was 800,000 or 900, well, at like 800,000, but now it's 911,000. Okay, so I see here now. So last year at this time when they did that revision, it was 818,000, which I think, if I remember right, they were talking about that being like the biggest on record. But now we've exceeded and beat that by 100,000. So way to go, BLS. Way to go. So yeah, Bravo. That's why you got shanked out of your pound dollar trades, unfortunately. So, but again, there's nothing you could have done about that, right? I mean, again, that wasn't on our economic calendars. I don't know. Do they report the release of that report, that revision release? I don't know. I didn't remember seeing it.
yeah.
Maybe Daryl knows. They took all year to cook the numbers. Damn agencies. Yeah. Coach D, do you know? Is that something that they release like in advance to say, hey, we're going to release this year's revisions? I've got no idea on that.
Uh,
Do you, Paul?
oh, yeah. You're talking about revisions of the non-farm stuff. You're talking about, yeah. They have on the Bureau of Labor Statistics. There's like a chart you can go to, and it shows like they have multiple revisions planned out for those
Hmm.
numbers. As far as the dates in which they do them, I'm not exactly sure, but there's like a big chart, and it shows you, yeah, first revision was this,
Mm-hmm.
second revision was this. It's ridiculous that we
Okay.
have multiple revisions, to be quite honest. but,
Yeah.
uh,
Well,
but yeah, I don't know.
because I've played around with the BLS.gov website a time or two, but I need to find that specific spot just for our future reference, right? Maybe if that's something we
Oh
could
yeah,
look at
for
in
sure.
advance of the next year's release, and that's definitely something we could bring up. So I wonder, God,
Let me see if I
it's like a
can't
gigantic
find it for you.
website, so it might take a minute to figure it out. But earnings, county wages, PPI, CPI, imports, employment. Okay, here we go. National employment. Yeah, there's so many things. I'll have to do this off stream. There's just this is a
I found
gigantic
it
website.
earlier.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I found it earlier, and I didn't save it, of course, so I can't. I can, if you don't find it, I'll eventually find it too, and I'll save it. I'll send it to you as well. But
Oh,
yeah, it is a
okay. No, that'd be
ridiculous
great.
website.
Bravo said I called to complain and sent him an angry email. There you go. Vent the frustrations. Let me. We'll hold our breath on if you get a response. All right.
Oh
That's great.
man!
Revise these figures
All right.
every. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, as far as the well, obviously, like on the economic calendar, when we get the NFP, it obviously shows the revision. But that's what I was wondering about is because I normally only notice it the day of the NFP release. Do they? That's what I'm wondering is do they share that revised number before the day of the current NFP release? Is what I was trying to figure out. But
Okay. Sorry,
because I feel
like I
like
half heard you. Yeah, I was
yeah, well,
like
no, that's fine
paying
because I
attention to the charts, and I was like, one of my ears was paying attention.
no, that's fine. No, because I feel like just like a couple days in advance of the NFP. So like last Wednesday, last Tuesday, I feel like I was looking to see on Forex Factory anyway, looking to see if they had a revision, but I didn't see anything. So, but yet
Right.
right before the NFP was released on Friday, that's when I noticed that it had the revision. So that's what I was trying to figure
Gotcha.
out.
All right. All right. So I
Well, we
really
just don't have to.
do. I think that
Gotcha.
the ES, Daryl, I'm thinking, maybe the ES is going to try and break out here at some point. I was contemplating getting long here and then just having a super tight stop at 65.34. Maybe give that a go. Something tells me to wait a minute, but yeah, I'm just going to wait like a minute here. And then I might be getting long with you, Mr.
Is
Coach
that a half a
Daryl.
bat?
Uh, you talking
Close.
about like an inverted half bat? You're talking about like
Yeah, that
this?
point high there, 65.37 down to what,
Yeah,
65.34 up, and then up a
could
little
be.
lower on the next drop, and then up. Oh, that's a 1 minute
It
time
could
frame.
be,
Okay,
man.
that's pretty tiny.
Yeah, yeah,
But
it is.
hey,
But hey,
it
they per
worked.
they
That little accumulation and that spring worked perfect on the 1 minute earlier for your gold.
yeah, yeah,
That's funny.
yeah.
It's
I
comical how you
mean,
can get out of that small a time frame and it worked.
I love that, dude. Well, what's funny is like there I used to trade. I used to make those trades a lot. Like I used to really look for those like aggressive aggressive trades where like you'd pierce a bottom and then immediately look to get long
Yeah.
and scalp basically the way up there for like a minute or not even like 30 seconds. I used to focus on that a lot. And
Yeah.
I've kind of fallen away from it because I've been trying a bunch of different strategies. Essentially, I've been testing a lot of new stuff out, but I really want to get back to that. I need to be. That's what Sam does that so well. Sam is a very good coach at finding those kind of um, turning points, and he's very quick. He's quick on the trigger to get into something like that. Daryl is too, actually. Daryl finds those reversals very well. Um, so I think a lot of our coaches are really good at honestly finding those reversals on the shorter time frames, on like the 1 minute time frame, seeing the trapped buyers or sellers and trying to take advantage
Yeah.
of a quick bump. But
Looking to see if I could find a schematic example to share. Just looking at
Michael's
Google.
in the chat. He's like, I love it when he
Michael!
hears us talking about the half bat. Uh,
uh, yep.
it's
Yep.
awesome.
We learned from the best, Michael.
Yeah,
Tear to
man.
my eye.
I'm sure
Is
you
it
know the
that? Is it?
story by now. I'm sure you know the story by now of like me trading that pattern and like me and Tiger talking about it, and then Tiger being like, "Oh yeah, that's Michael calls that the half bat or whatever," and I'm like mind blown, like, "Oh my goodness, there's a name for it. Like there's actually a name for it. That's hilarious."
Now, is it our reference bringing the tear to your eye, or is it that tequila? Come on, Michael. Be honest.
Exactly.
Just the picking on you. That's good stuff. No, it's strong though. It really is a pretty strong pattern. I mean, I probably a couple of years ago I was doing a little bit of research into W patterns and M patterns, but with the context and how Coach Michael presents it, it makes sense how to use it. With some of
Right.
the EMAs he uses and such. So, because I was actually testing it out, but just couldn't quite figure out the path. Like obviously, I can use it in the context of supply and demand zones, but just to kind of see his level one, his level two setups. Obviously, buying as close
Mm-hmm.
to the turnaround, the accumulation distribution that made a little more sense. So works like a charm.
Yeah.
I mean, his level one and level two trades is the same as what I would call low on the curve or high on the curve, depending if you're buying or selling. So it's just kind of cool
Mm-hmm.
how we pretty much have a similar way of looking at it. We just refer to it as different refer to it in a different manner, but it's pretty much the same thing. So pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Pretty
Isn't it
cool
funny how that
stuff.
stuff works out?
Yeah.
Isn't it funny how that'll work out? Every, like, 6 different people are like, oh yeah, I look at this, and then every other person just like, oh yeah, me too, but I say it, I call it this. And it's like,
It's
oh,
just like,
all right.
it's just like any sport, like baseball. You have the Little League World Series that comes to the States every year. Everybody's speaking a different language, but they're playing the same game, right?
Yep.
That's essentially the best analogy that you could really come up with, I guess, or that I can think of. Playing the
Yeah,
same
that's a
game,
good.
just speaking different language.
Yeah, yeah, I like that.
Man, so silver has dropped in to a demand zone. It's a higher time frame demand zone that I'm keeping an eyeball on. So that would be was it the 4 hour, 2 hour, 2 hour. So it's dropped into the 2 hour demand zone, but inside of that 2 hour demand zone, I do have a 1 hour demand zone I'm watching just for a little bit of confluence. But it looks like it's hitting the 2 hour demand zone and just taking off. So yeah,
Yeah,
dang it. I wished I could have got a little bit deeper of a drop. But yeah, like I said earlier, I don't know how much. I don't know. I don't know if that Chinese data had any effect on it, but it just so happened it was released at 8:30. Well, 8:30 my time, and yeah, you saw what it did ever since. Just kind of spiked, or 9:30 your time. So,
yeah,
but silver is pretty well following suit. It looks like, but it perfectly bounced off the. So I had a fair value gap on the 1 hour time frame, but that fair value gap was also inside of my 2 hour demand zone. So perhaps I should have used
mhm.
that as a signal rather than waiting for the, you know, the extreme bottom, the 1 hour. So that's a good note that I am now taking. And next time I see that, I'm taking that higher time frame bounce right off the proximal line of the demand zone. So yeah, because it's flying up nicely
Very
now.
nice.
So missed the trade, but it is interesting to see how that fair value gap, squared perfectly with the higher time frame zone. So
Definitely. I did. It's funny. I actually literally, while you were just saying that, I got an I just pulled a classic Sam trade. I went back to gold while you were talking about silver.
yeah,
Saw immediately that it looked like gold wanted to eat through a big offer at 36.71. I got long 3 micros, and I think in 4 seconds, it pierced through it, and I made and it went up like a buck per ounce, and
yeah,
on the 3 micros, and I closed out. So I made a quick $30, just a little $30 scalp on the micros there, in like literally 4 seconds time.
nice.
On the live stream, it probably popped up for like a freaking blip of time, and you saw me get in and get out almost immediately, which was hilarious there. So up
Nice, nice.
117 now. I'll I'll
Um,
take it.
no, that's great. But no, here's my looks like they moved my chart to my chart real quick. So yeah, here's my 2 hour demand on silver. So it bounced off of it and it's moving up nicely. Now I went down to the 1 hour and also saw the 1 hour demand for confluence. So I was, as you can see, I got my alert set just ahead of the 1 hour. Well, also we got that fair value gap from the proximal line of the 1 hour demand to the second candle thereafter. So you got your leg out candle as far as the 1 hour candle goes. Um, but then you had this nice little fair value gap just chilling. Just chilling. So what happens? And that fair value gap is inside of the 2 hour demand. So you can see what happened when it dropped in there. Just 1 minute time frame. I mean, look at that volume. So that's strong
Yeah,
volume right at the proximal line of the demand, 2 hour demand. And off she
yeah,
goes. So there you go. That's but that's good to see. I'm glad to see that. I wonder what the fair value gap looks like over here. Ah, look at this. So you also had a little 5 minute demand, just chilling right there at the top of the 2 hour demand. right?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe I should have went down a little deeper. You had a little tiny blip of a FVG on that, but not enough to write home about.
Good,
Yeah,
good old
but
FVG.
FVG. So yeah, it's just kind of cool to, it's always a good idea. And I mean, I feel like I do a pretty good job, but it looks like I might need to do a little bit better of a job because, as far as going down and just looking at all the different angles within a higher time frame demand, and where's the FVGs, where's the 5 minute demands, the 10 minute, 15 minute demands, and as you can see, it ended up picking a 5 minute demand in the context of a 2 hour demand, in the context of the 1 hour demand, fair value gap. So that's three different ways. That's three different items, odds enhancers, if you will. Because some people just take trades based off of fair value gaps themselves. I choose to wait for the demand zones or the supply zones that are hidden on the other side. But me and Coach Richard talked about this a few times because he likes to go off the fair value gap itself. So, and they both work great. And I know this because I have a lot of trades that I miss out on just simply because it hit that fair value gap and ran off without me.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes they'll go through the FVG to my zone. Sometimes they'll just take right from the fair value gap itself. Um, so yeah, it's just interesting to see, how accurate a couple different ways of trading the same area can be. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
all good. We shall just look for another opportunity on it. But well, while I'm here, okay, so that was silver. Oh yeah, that's what I wanted to show. So we were talking about that spring that you had earlier, right? And then
Yeah.
so I went to the 1 second chart. So this is the spring on a 1 second time frame, and then it goes up and breaks this high, which basically signals that we've got the actual reversal we're looking for on the Wyckoff theory or the accumulation model. And then I just drew a line at the top from here, the top of this pivot, and then the bottom of this pivot to just to act as a demand zone because you can't see this on a 1 minute time frame. You can't even
Mm-hmm.
see it on a 15-second time frame. I had to go all the way down to the 1 second time frame, and then look, just hits, just rides up. That hits that
That's so
one
funny,
second
dude.
demand zone. I know.
This is Sam.
So yeah,
This is Sam. This is what Sam needs to see. He needs to see the one
yeah.
second time zones, demand zones. That's so funny, man. That's all. But it's cool.
What?
It's cool though too. So
Yeah, yeah, it is. I mean, again, it could maybe it just reversed their off chance. I don't know. It's just comical to see it did it on that very small time frame, swing high, swing low within
right,
that
right.
1 minute time frame, that 1 minute candle. So anyway, I'll save that and share it with the guys in the morning.
But what's interesting though at the same time is like I am like from my order flow software that I follow. I kind of am looking at that time frame just on a continuous basis of sorts, in a way. So
Mm-hmm.
I guess I kind of am looking at that all the time in a certain way. Now that I think about it, I'm always continuously looking at a 1 second chart in its own weird way because of the order
Yeah.
flow. So, uh, but yeah,
Well,
yeah.
yeah. It's
I
just
did take another
pound yen,
small scalp
small
again,
trade.
and it was nothing though. It was a break even on gold, so I'm at like 118, $119 or whatever. So just trying to scalp gold when it makes these little pumps and then consolidates. So what's going on with the yen?
No, yeah. I figured I'd take a quick peek at some of my alerts I got set over here. Aussie CAD, yeah, that's pretty far away. Demand zone down here. Former resistance becomes support. Looking to get a bounce off, possibly that, but I think my favorite spot's going to be down here on Aussie CAD. This one's given me a bullish score of 11. So by the way, gold is still gold has company. So gold has been all by itself for a while as far as the top very bullish score I have. But I've now got
Mm.
Aussie CAD, which I have here, and pound CAD sharing the same score. So they're 11s. They're 11s. In fact, I have a
Okay.
lot of every single Canada dollar cross is on here as far as a sell. So sell CAD. Okay. It's weak. It's one of the weakest currencies I have right now, or
Sell
that
it.
I'm tracking.
Get out of it.
Yes, sell CAD. So just actually, might as well just take a quick. Let me just do this just for context. I'll just copy over my top setups just to see, so that we can see this together. That way you can see what I'm seeing over here. Okay, here we go. So yeah, Canada dollar. So we got pound CAD, odd CAD, New Zealand CAD, dollar CAD, Euro CAD, all those with bullish scores, meaning sell Canada, buy the other currency. And then we also have at the bottom the two CAD base pair, the base pairs, CAD yen, CAD Swiss for shorts. So yeah,
Okay.
Canada is just not getting any love right now with respect to
Yeah.
crossing with the other currencies. All the other currencies are stronger. Now, not all the currencies are stronger. That's just one of the weaker ones. So it's giving me a signal for all of them. So I'm just kind of curious while I'm on my. Where is my eco surprise meter? I'm just taking a look. Yeah, so CAD is only at 25% on my economic surprise meter. So that means 75% of its reports have missed expectations. So it's down there in the dumps with the dollar. I mean, the dollar is a 30%, only a 30% surprise score. CAD's a 25%,
Mhm.
and then Swiss franc is actually the worst at a 17%. So it's kind of interesting to see CAD Swiss, the two weakest currencies, but yet it's still got the most bearish score to sell the Canada dollar. So I want to take a look at that CAD Swiss real quick. CAD Swiss. Okay, so yeah, CAD Swiss downtrend ever since mid August, down, retraced down. So I'm basically keeping an eye on this daily supply up here. That's going to be a green candle before this big spike down that we had on Friday's NFP candle, and then go up down to a 4. Or no, I guess that'd be a 1 hour. Yeah. So on a 1 hour time frame, I got a supply zone in the middle. That's my confluence. It's going to be that candle right there. So I've got an alert set just ahead of that because that's going to be probably my favorite place. Awesome fair value gap coming out of it, as you can see by my little blue rectangle there. Now there is another couple zones in its path. This one I've got no interest in because it had no strength coming out of it. Not just, I mean, not maybe a pipette of a fair value gap. There's my favorite word I don't use very often. Pipette. Okay. You had a tiny bit of space, so not enough for me to consider that a fair value gap. I don't like that. And plus, it just kind of dilly
Okay.
dallied around and went sideways. So I'm not interested in that one. That's why I didn't even draw up a rectangle. On this time frame, I have a 30-minute. Yeah. So here's a 30-minute little supply. It's a red candle, but it's still, you got wicks underneath, wicks above. So that's a supply. Okay, fair value gap. But this is not the closest to the origin of the strong move because you got actually a fair value gap here, but this is the fair value gap I'm interested in if I was looking on a 30-minute time frame. But again, I really am paying attention to the 1 hour higher time frame just for kicks.
Yeah.
And I actually don't know if it did. I need to go down to a 5-minute, see what we got here. Yeah, fair value gap, fair value gap. And then on the 1 hour time frame, so that's the red 1 hour time frame candle. Okay, a little bit of a fair value gap there. So I like that. I like how it was just straight red candles coming out. I like how you didn't have a bunch of candles just slowly dilly dallying out. That's a nice strong move. So that makes that 1 hour supply zone look pretty strong to me. and not to mention the volume that's picking up as it leaves the basing action. So yeah, that's going to be my favorite spot. Now that's quite a ways up, I think, on an asset that moves. Let me see what my ATR is. Oh, okay. So yeah, 33 pips, 34 pips. So that ain't going to make it up there anytime soon. So it's one of the slower moving pairs, moving like molasses on a cold December morning that's been left out in the storage shed. Okay. His price is, how many pips away is that? 63 pips. Okay. So that's going to be at least a couple days of solid trekking to get there. And basically, translation, won't be trading that this week. So that's two times the ATR. I don't see price just going up there that quick. So you figure, what is today? Tuesday. So let's just say Wednesday, Thursday. You might get it up there by Friday, but I'm not going to put any hopes into that. It is a bearish asset. And for that matter, now that I think about that, as long as we maintain that -9 score for a couple days, I might even look to take a chance down here. So I'm just going to set an alert there just to see what happens. I'll just throw that out for Friday.
Yeah.
Why not? Now, the reality is, though, the same analysis still remains. That's not the lowest strong supply zone. The strongest is up top. But I'd be interested to see, do we get just a big bearish engulfing candle? Do we get like 3x volume, 4x volume from the more recent VSA candles down here? If so, perhaps I might take a half a risk trade, but ultimately I'm going to be more interested in waiting for the higher probability one, right? So what I would probably do is just put this on here in a light yellow color, or I'm sorry, light red, not yellow. I like to color coordinate everything, right? So that's a light red, meaning possibly. And the same thing with my supply zone. I'm gonna color that light red. Like that's a possibility, but absolutely, am I not gonna put a full position on it? I'll be putting maybe I'll just limp in. Maybe I'll just take and tiptoe my toes in. Right. So it's they just finally filled up the pool. It's early April here in the state, here in Kansas, so it's not quite warm enough to just be out there swimming. If you tiptoe in, you just see if you want to jump in or if you have to cannonball, right? So this is tiptoeing into the pool. Up here is cannonball. Okay, up here it's late May, it's June, it's July. The pool's hot, so I'd be cannonballing into this trade. But down here, it's still a cold early April season. I'm just going to tiptoe the water, right? Kind of the way I see that.
Tiptoe. Yep.
Tiptoe to see if I even want to get in or just wait another couple months. Or in this case, hopefully not a couple months, but maybe another day, right?
Yeah.
Day or two.
Yeah.
But
I like it.
If this hits towards the middle or end of Friday, probably just going to ignore it because obviously it's not going to have time to move before I want to close the trade and be flat by the time the weekend hits anyway. With the with the craziness of the geopolitics and everything sometimes changes on a weekend. I mean, we all saw that when President Trump dropped the bombs on Iran's nuclear sites, right? We didn't know that.
Right.
You come in on Monday or Sunday for us, Sunday evening here in the States, and everything's changed. You got oil going crazy.
Yep.
You got this. So it's just a tough time to hold trades open over the weekend. I used to always do it on these higher time frames, but even on a 4-hour supply and demand zone, I'm just not interested in holding trades open over the weekend, at least for the time being.
I don't blame you. No, I agree, 100%. Like, there's too much. It's too much that could happen to be doing that. So, I am with you there for sure. I do have something for you. I got something. Well, I might have a trade here in a minute, but I got something else for you to show you. Since you don't get to participate in our future sessions in the charades, I figured I'd bring a couple of charades to you to try and See if you can figure out a song title or two. I picked some
oh, okay.
relatively one that Daryl already knows. We already did it, and it's become a running joke essentially at this point about the song. But another one that we haven't done or haven't done it in a long time, if we have even done it before. I think there are a couple songs that you would know. So I am gonna bring them up here in a second. Whenever they want to share my screen, I'll then
Oh,
bring them
okay.
up. But I'm possibly gonna get into a gold long again here.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. We can
Yeah,
flip over to you whenever.
I'm in a gold long. I'm in. Okay, come
In
on.
like Flynn. In like Flynn.
Oh wow, I accidentally
And
got in. Let's get out real quick. I accidentally got in a full gold mini instead of
oops.
a micro, so I just got out for a $7 gain there, and I'll get into the mini or the micro now. So I'll take
Big
that.
money.
That's fine. Um, just wanted to get into a micro. I'm not trying to do anything crazy. So
Yep. Big
nothing
money.
great.
Just looking at this more recent 1 hour up leg on odd CAD since it's the strongest Forex pair right now. Fair value gap here to here. Might end up jumping into this if we can get a pullback, but we probably won't happen anytime soon. So anyway, might be a decent
All
spot.
right. Yeah. Yeah.
In the context of this little mini uptrend line. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, yeah, I'll just stick with that. Nah. Oh.
37.5.
If we get a quick drop, if not, I might ignore it. Actually, another thing to keep in mind when it comes to these uptrends, when you throw a trend line up, like I guess if I were to take this trade on odd CAD, I mean, I would obviously be okay if it were to just drop into the demand zone, and then look at there. We also got a 15-minute right there that I haven't colored in. Actually, let's do that real quick. Yeah, so here's a 15-minute. So here's confluence. Oh, you stupid thing! I got to figure this tool out. Something is up with my magnets. It's just not working right. But okay, so 15-minute within that 1 hour. So we got confluence. Now, if the trade comes straight down and just taps in, then obviously it would be great if it touched the trend line as well. Buy for alongside. Okay. If it takes a little longer, then I would still feel comfortable taking this trade, even if it goes through the trend line and tags my demand. Because at this point, what happens on this side of the upward trend line? You got people, trying to call it short, trade the breakout.
Yeah.
So that's extra. That's an extra little liquidity move that the banks can use and say, okay, thanks for the shorts. We'll take your we'll take your well, basically thanks for the liquidity, and then flip it the other way. So that's really a couple of different ways to look at this trade. Just thought I would throw that out there. A couple different
Yeah, for sure. For
options.
sure.
That makes sense, but yeah, I still like this demand down here. I think the best though. I think.
Where's that? They're showing my screen now. So where's the demand at
Oh,
on
okay.
that
Yeah,
on
let's see
the?
what you got. That's all good.
Uh, no, what was that level that you were talking about of demand? I just got stopped out, by the way. So no big deal. $11 loss
Uh,
there.
oh, okay. Come on for the Aussie cat I was looking at.
Yeah, yeah.
1 hour demand at 91.12, and then the 15
All right.
inside is at 91.10. So just a couple pips difference.
Okay.
Couple pips
Gotcha.
difference.
Here we go. Okay. All right. So here's the first one. This is I've got the charade for you here. This is the first one
Oh,
that
okay.
is has already been done by our team here. It's the name of a song. it's a one hit wonder kind of band.
Karma Chameleon.
You really there you go. Yeah, easier to put the commas to then be able to. Yeah, you got it
Yeah.
perfect. Had that stuck in Sam's head
Boy
for like
George
3
in the
days.
Culture Club.
Yep,
Yep.
yep, yep. So you got that one, and then this one's. I think it's pretty. I think it's definitely easier for you for sure because I know we're of
Comma,
a
comma.
similar taste
That's
in
fine.
music. Yeah,
Yep.
instead of karma, the only thing I could think of that sounded similar was comma. Okay, and
Oh,
then
that's
this
good
guy
though.
right here.
Hailstorm. No.
It's classic rock. I'll give you a classic
Oh,
rock,
okay.
and that's what it's a song, a classic, very classic rock.
So we're talking like 80s or 70s or something like that.
80s. It's
Uh,
80s. Yeah,
okay. Here's the song title. Okay, gotcha.
song title.
Uh,
Yeah. It's a little
man.
bit difficult. It's technically one word, but it sounds like two words. I believe. I think
Um,
it's one word. Let me double check.
Under.
Yeah, it's one word.
Oh my.
Okay,
Oh
you
my.
got half of it right there. You just said half of the title already.
What did I say? It's thunderstorm. What did I say? What was it I
Okay,
said?
the first
Storm.
half of that thunder.
Hailstorm. Oh, thunderstruck.
There it is. Yeah, you got
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
There you
Nice.
go. Awesome.
Thunderstruck. Yeah, 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 yeah. Pretty much.
You're an ACDC fan, right? You like ACDC, right?
Oh
Or
yeah,
no?
yeah. So one of my
Okay.
favorite all-time movies, screwball humor, is Maximum Overdrive. I think I've referred to it on here a few times. But yeah, the very
Okay.
opening song, the opening credits, ACDC is playing "Who Made Who" classic. But I think that was the first time I got exposed to ACDC was as a kid watching that movie because it's just the silly screwball humor, kind of like Airplane, kind of like Naked Gun movies. We
Right.
just watched the brand new Naked Gun come out a few days, short while ago, a week or two ago. But yeah,
Was it
screwball
good?
silly humor. Oh, it was awesome. Yeah, I don't think it was as great as the
I
originals, but it's cool to see it revised. Um, yeah, it was good. It was good, but no, Who Made Who? Really good ACDC song. Love it.
awesome. Dude, I
You,
love
yeah.
Airplane, man. Airplane is
Oh my
like
gosh, that's the best.
so good. So good, dude.
Yeah,
Hysterical is an understatement. Like
yeah.
what's his name is the best, man. I love that guy. The old
I
dude.
mean, Leslie Nielsen, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he is
yeah, yeah.
awesome. He's
Like
so
the greatest
awesome.
of all time. Yeah, and then Airplane Two, Striker, Striker. It's just the
God,
funniest crap. Yeah, right there with Tropic
it's like,
Thunder and
oh, dude, yeah. Oh my gosh,
um,
man. I need
uh,
to rewatch some of these again. Like, I need to do a kind of go like have a marathon, a movie marathon on the
yep,
weekend or something, watching some of these. Jeez, man.
yep, yep. Screwball humor. That's what it is. I love it.
Monty Python. Just
Oh
got to go through
gosh.
them all.
With his coconuts. I can't eat it. Oh, come on. It's just one little morsel. I can't eat it. Spam, spam. I don't like bloody spam. Ah, that's the best. Best. The best.
Oh man, it
The
really is.
best. Where's my treat?
Well,
Sitting here.
yes, just ratcheted up 5 points in a matter of 4 minutes. There, it really was looking like it wanted to just grind lower these last 45 minutes, and now it's kind of, yeah, I guess you could call it a little bit of a it was like a little bit of a bull flag in a certain way. Kind of just had to do its little
Oh yeah.
downward consolidation here to pop right back up.
I wish I could get just a little bit more scoring on the indices because I think I might have told you last night or maybe last week, but I haven't even paid attention to the indices over the last 3 weeks or so because they've been so neutral on my scoring system that I haven't paid attention. I mean, just looking at the indices right now, let me pull up my neutrals. Yeah, and I can't remember if I went over this last night or not, but yeah, S&P and the NASDAQ, they're both twos. And then the Dow is a 0. So yeah, they've been hovering around that 0, 1, -1, -2, +2. They've been there for like 3 weeks. So I just straight up haven't even paid attention. And the Russell is a -1. Nikkei is
Yeah.
-1. The FTSE in England is a 2. So like they're just nothing. The DAX in Germany is a -5, but I haven't been able to find anything good on DAX as far as trying to sell it or buy it. Well,
Mm.
obviously it would be buying it since it is a bearish signal, but yeah, indices have just pretty much been off my radar the last handful of weeks. Been focused so hard on gold and a little bit of silver. That's been like 80% of my attention since that's where the
Yeah.
scores are. And clearly that's where the price action is, right? So it's just interesting to
Yeah.
see how you kind of or how it's interesting to see how it kind of cycles with the currencies,
Hmm.
the metals, the Bitcoin every now and then as far as the scoring system that I track. So,
Yep.
and then commodities and all this stuff that I watch. So, but that's just where the geopolitics are right now.
That's the way the cookie crumbles.
It is the way
Another
the
good
cookie
one.
crumbles. Bruce, was that Bruce Almighty?
Yes, sir. You
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah.
Good old Bruce
I never
Almighty,
really,
Jim Carrey.
if I'm the average, like if you look at movies, like I'm probably below average on the amount of movies I've watched compared to the average guy. Like I've never really watched a whole lot of movies, but yeah, when it comes to comedy, yeah, I definitely know a few of those because yeah, Jim Carrey was always my
Mm.
favorite growing up. I used to act like him and had the hair flopped up. I actually won a Halloween contest when I worked for American Eagle. I dressed up as Ace Ventura, walked in with
That's
the
awesome.
side strap, white, just completely decked out in a white outfit. Yeah, I ended up winning a contest for that. It was quite funny back then.
That is freaking awesome. I mean, dude, Ace Ventura, that man, absolute classic. And I wish I could have seen that. I wish I could have seen your costume. That's sweet. That's
I wish
awesome.
I had a picture of it, but that was before the
Yeah.
days of the smartphone. We didn't have the pics back then.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
What else have we got?
Oh man. Can't remember the name of the dolphin. What was the name of the dolphin?
Ray
Slipped my
Finkel.
tongue. Yeah.
Is that right?
Ray Finkel. Yeah, yeah, that was it. That's it. Laces out. Laces out. God, dude.
Excuse me, your gun is digging into my pants. So many one-liners from there. Oh my gosh! And that's one of the movies I actually laughed out loud to. I think I watched that. I feel like I watched that I think we watched that in high school or middle school or something. But I just remember me sitting over in the corner, just laughing out loud, and everybody else is just like slight little giggles. I'm like, how are you all not laughing? I was laughing so hard I was crying. But when he was driving his car and he kept swerving and he kind of fishtailed into his little parking spot. I don't know, that whole
Yeah.
sequence just had me cracking up. Like, my gosh,
Uh,
it was
for
broken
real, man.
windshield.
So good.
Oh
And then
man.
also another good one. I was looking, maybe I would get long here on gold again, but
Yeah.
I've already made 5 trades tonight, and I just feel like I don't want to overtrade here and overstep my bounds and give
Yeah.
up my green. So I think I'm gonna just chill out unless I see something that's just glaringly too obvious for me. But kind of like a little inverted head and shoulders of sorts on this 1 minute, which was making me think, okay, well,
Oh, this
selling pressure
Friday.
wasn't too harsh to the downside, so maybe we're gonna ratchet back up here, but I'm gonna let it go for now. But another another great movie that I seem to reference to a little bit too often nowadays is uh, Billy Madison with the the
Yeah.
principal at the end when Billy when he has to answer like the last question or in the contest, and then the he answers it like about a puppy or something, and then the principal, I pulled the quote up so I don't butcher it, but he goes, Mr. Madison, what you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I've ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room
Oh
is
yeah.
now dumber for having, and I award you no
Yep.
points. May God have mercy on your soul.
I remember now. Yeah. Oh, that reminded me of it. There goes your 1 minute candle.
That
There it
yeah, there it
goes.
goes. Would
Yep.
have been a nice long. That would have been a nice one.
I think that you and I last night were talking about Aussie Swiss. I think I was pointing this. I think I was pointing out a couple of demand zones on this thing, and I remember sitting here talking about it on stream. Like, do I want to take this? Do I not want to take this? Well, I didn't take it, and I should have taken it because at this rate, that would have been a nice. I might have to show this before we get out of here. Um,
Yeah, yeah. Show it.
2, 7, 7, 14, 21, 28 through 5, 5 to 1. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Back in, if you don't mind, just flip back on over to my. Yeah, this is Aussie Swiss.
Nice.
So last night, I think we were talking about this on stream. Yeah. Yeah. 2030. So that's 8:30 my time. Yeah. 9:30 your time. So yeah, I was looking at this. So this Aussie Swiss, if I remember right, I was getting, yeah. So a bullish score of an 8. So really nice. Excuse me. Really nice bullish score. Um, and I was looking at this candle here with the wicks up, the wicks down, little 30-minute demand. Okay. Giant move out, fair value gap, the whole 9 yards. So yeah, we dropped in and got a little bounce out. Now, when this bounced, it wasn't even strong enough to push through and close above this more recent swing high, right? Very small time frame. So this is the area where I was looking at this while we were on stream last night. And I had also seen, okay, well, it did bounce. It did respect the zone because it bounced. It caught a bid at some point, but it didn't catch enough bid to push it and close above here. So I ended up going down to a 15, a 10, a 5 minute demand or a time frame. Let's just look at it on the 5. So yeah, same thing. Had some basing action, wicks up, wicks down. Wasn't really red, right? I like to see red to be my last down candle before the actual impulse move. But at the end of the day, if it's giving wicks down, that's telling me that the buyers and sellers are well, they're doing their thing in there. They're
Yeah.
agreeing, they're fighting it out, however you want to look at it. So I wrapped a rectangle around it, but I didn't buy it because I just wasn't confident in it because again, it didn't break this high and close. Well, as you can see, I should have just bought it because it just went crazy. And not only that, but that was in the Asian session. I think I've said that a time or two as well. Like, I
Mhm.
don't really like taking zone trades in the Asian session. But in hindsight, what did I have? Well, I had a nice fair value gap even on the 15 minute. Right. So
Right.
yeah, Clearly, I should have taken that. Okay, you get the picture there, but just
So,
bounced in
but
nicely out of
with that fair value gap, when it came back into that green zone that you had there, the one above the larger green zone, would you put the
here.
stop below the bigger green zone like that you have at the bottom, or like
Great
where would your
question.
stop be? Yeah.
So, what I probably would have, let me just go back out to 15 so I have a little more room. So, yeah, great question. Yeah, there's a few different options. So, obviously, you could put it below the 30-minute, or you could just put it below the swing low, which is pretty much at the distal line of that demand. Um,
Right.
or you could just put it a pip or two below the actual 5 minute itself. So it's really just dependent on risk tolerance. What I would do,
Yeah.
yeah. So you can obviously put it here. So basically the proximal line, or just a few pips below. But what I would do, what the way I would see it is, since price came all the way through the demand zone, the 30-minute, the higher time frame demand. Well, to me that wipes it out. So I would, because it did go up, right? So it left the zone, it made its move, and then retraced. So when it did not close above this point here, well, that leads me to believe it's not that strong. So at this point, I would just ignore the whole zone, and I would not have left my stop below like that. So normally I would have put a stop
Okay.
down here, obviously, somewhere in this area. Well,
Okay. Yeah.
actually, you could also done it at the bottom of the Asian low. So there's really the Asian low. There's a few pips below the 30, or you could go below the swing low, or you could go below the 5, 10, 50. So since it had
Yeah.
already chewed through these unfilled orders in the demand, if price comes back, then I've got no faith that it would hold. I mean, I would just see it just continuing, to go right through. So I wouldn't worry about
Yep.
my stop loss down here on this smaller time frame. I would just probably look at this on its own time and say, okay, so we had the what was that, the 5 minute? Go back over here. Sorry, I'm moving all over the place here. But at this point, I would have said, okay, that 30-minute demand zone no longer valid. So let's delete that.
Mm-hmm.
And looking at the VSA candles down here, you can see where we had, a red candle, a couple yellow candles. So basically, right there is that middle yellow candle. I would have probably just taken that into context. Let me see, my pips are, so that's 52.20. So we'll call that 52.21. 1, 2, 3. So I would have just put my stop loss down here, given it a few pips, because I'm looking at all this volume down here. If these volume spread analysis candles were like, small, maybe they're the average volume or below average, which is the blue, well, then I would have probably just focused more up here because I had a lot of volume under here, volume spike. But since we
Right.
had volume down here, since we had pretty decent volume here, then that tells me at least that little drop down is pretty strong. Now, this
Yeah.
one over here, the red candle, I wouldn't have worried about too much because there was not that much volume, which kind of makes sense. I mean, well, I don't know if it makes sense or not, but that's the Asian Open. So I would have probably just
Right.
kept my stop loss below this low here, just to give me a little more wiggle room, because at the end of the day, look at that. That's only about a 2 pip range. That's too tiny for me to just put a stop loss just underneath it. I need some wiggle
Yeah.
room. I've also got spreads I got to worry about. Lower liquidity Asian session, albeit Aussie dollar is obviously in the Asian session. So I would have probably just at least put it down here, maybe just break even with this candle here. Now, obviously, a little more
Right.
conservative would be to drop it a few pips below the Asian Open, right? Maybe a couple pips, something like that. So there's no right or wrong way to do it. It's just a matter of risk tolerance, you know. Because I
Yeah.
mean, it looks like it's a ridiculously long ways away, but again, that's only about a 2 pip spread. I mean, a 2 pip range on that zone. So you need the wiggle room. You also need the spread that you got to account for. Oh, by the way, it might not be a bad idea just to put it underneath the Asian low, which ain't too far away. And at the end of the day, that ends up being about 7 pips away, right? So it gives that a little more
Yeah.
reward. Hope that makes
Yeah,
sense.
because you never know. No, I agree because I feel like my first glance would be to put it below that Asian low. Just even
Yeah.
though it wasn't on hard like big volume, you never know like when larger volume comes into the market whether it might be like curious to just test that level for the sake of seeing if it has any validity or not, because
I'd be interested.
which it's that's not like obviously that wasn't the case here. That wasn't even the case at all. It didn't happen. But I could see a scenario where like the market would be like, you know what, let's check that level out real quick again. Let's see if buyers are really trying to this hold this area. But good thing is, it didn't even happen in that example. So
Yeah, so like I'm not sure what the spread is on GUI trades, but the spread on Aussie Swiss on my other broker is actually quite low. It's actually only about like zero point 0.7 pips. So that's actually a very cheap spread. But it just depends
yeah,
on the it just depends on the broker you're on. So like I have another brokerage account, which is my original one, the very first one I ever got for Forex. And believe it or not, I haven't blown it. Let me go look
right,
at it.
right.
Let's see what the spread is over there. On Swiss, on Swiss, on Swiss. Where are you at? Oh, maybe I need to type it in. AUD, CHF. There we go. So let's see what the spread is over here. 1 minute time frame. Oh, come on. Does it even show? It's been a while since I've logged into it. Let me log in. Okay, let's try that again. AUD CHF. Must be a setting. It's not showing my spreads right now. Well, anyway, yeah.
That'd be
Odd
good.
Swiss. I mean, sometimes it's. I think that one, depending on the brokers, anywhere usually from about 1 to 3 pips. I
Yeah.
guess is the bottom line of what I was trying to accomplish there. So, yeah, you figure, if it breaks that level, you want to give it at least 2 or 3 pips. So, 3 pips would be right there, and then another 3 pips, and you're a couple pips below the Asian low. So, yeah, I mean, a couple 3 pips. So that's about right. Yeah, that's about a good.
Mhm.
Because if it comes down to the low and retraces and goes the opposite way, it'll give you a couple pips of leeway for the spread at the bottom, right?
Yeah.
So that's the
Yeah.
important thing, everybody. Keep in mind you got spreads to factor in with your stop losses or your take profits, right?
Yeah, definitely. And given the range that you seem to see in the currency, like it seems like, a 1 to 1 at least is relatively reasonable given the time frame and whatnot, So like you can at least make a 1 to 1 generally speaking, based off
Yeah.
of that setup. So
Yep.
yeah, I
That is it.
like
Oh,
it.
we're still on my chart. Oh, sorry. I forgot we were on my chart over here.
Oh no, you're good.
Uh,
Yeah.
what else? Oh, yeah. So that was that. Let me just take a look at my top setups again. Okay, so I went over gold, I went over pound CAD, I went over odd CAD. Those are my two highest rated ones. I went over CAD Swiss, which is my highest bearish score, or lowest bearish score, I should say. Euro Aussie is a -8. CAD Jap is a -8. Let's look at a couple other currencies real quick, just for
Yeah, yeah.
potential setups for Forex fire here in a little while, or here in 5 hours. Okay, Euro Aussie -8. Where am I at? Top down analysis here. Currently bouncing into it's like a little bit of what is that, a 2 hour demand, I guess that would be.
Mm.
Yeah, so here's our basing candle. It's green, but it's a basing candle. Really strong push out, nice fair value gaps, nice volume spread analysis candle. Really digging that. Now, again, this is bearish, so I just have to keep in mind that even though I'm trying to sell this market, I don't want to sell it if it's in the middle of a demand zone, unless it breaks through it and closes. So if this price comes down and closes, then I'll be looking for a smaller time frame supply. Let's see what I got real quick. Looks like I've got something up here. Get rid of my drawings for a second. Okay. Perfect. So I got supply zone number 1, supply zone number 2. Well, supply zone number 2 is obviously closer to this origin, so I would probably be ignoring supply zone number 1, right? It's got a nice fair value gap of its own, but this one up here has a little fair value gap, but it's again closer to the origin. So in the past, and this is one thing I changed, is I was doing a lot of, I made the analogy this morning on Forex Fire. I said I was acting like a baby scorpion that didn't know how to control its stinger. Meaning, I was doing a lot of just, going for the closest zone rather than going for the one with the higher probability. So obviously this, I'd be going for this lower zone for a short instead of waiting for the one that's the higher probability, because that's the origin of the strong move with the fair value gap. And all the while I should have been going for those ones.
Right.
Go for the higher probability one. So yeah, just looking at what I got in front of me here on a 4 hour. Yeah, so I'm going to delete that one. I'm going to delete all this. I got too much crap in my way here. So yeah, fair value gap. So let's just pull that forward. If we get a close below this demand zone down here, then I would look for the retracement to that higher time frame supply and sell.
Yeah,
so that's ultimately the highest probability. But if we come down to a smaller time frame, and again, so long as we close below this demand, if we close below this demand, well, now I've got this as a supply zone right here. So that's not valid though until that 1 hour candle closes. So what have we got? Well, 3 minutes, I guess. Okay, so far it's looking good. As long as this closes, which it looks like it might, unless it just wicks up at the last minute before this next 2 minutes is over, then yeah, we're good. So here's the way I'm going to plot this out now. Now that we've broken through and looks like we're likely going to close, now I'm looking at just come down a little bit more for a sell like that. So that will be my move. If price in this area would come up and hit that supply zone, that would have been invalidated, because that would have told me that this supply was not strong enough to break through a demand zone underneath. But now that it looks likely, we got a minute and a half, right? I would like to see it drop a little more, to be honest with you, rather than just barely limping out of that zone. But nevertheless, it's 1, 2, 3 hours, and it's just chewing right through it. So yeah, that'll be probably my favorite short-term play on this thing for my second most bearish Forex pair. So that's about all I got, man. We coming up on a minute left. Yeah. Any closing thoughts?
We can quickly share my screen very quickly, even though we have 45 seconds left. I'm just going to quickly show something that I'm looking at. If we can switch. Yeah, cool. Awesome. ES looking like it might break out here over the 65.37 area. If we were on for another hour, I probably would have gotten long here in the 65.35 65.36 area for the breakout up to the all-time high of 65.43-ish. I would probably have done that. But all right, we got 25 seconds here. Chad, it was great having everybody. We appreciate the banter, and we had some good trades. It was a pretty decent quiet markets trading session. We're in the green tonight, so pretty nice here. As always, a pleasure, Coach Tiger. I will see you again on Thursday, but I know you'll be back tomorrow with Coach Tony. Have a great one. Forex Fire tomorrow morning, everybody. Don't forget. And then Futures Takeoff as well at 9:30 Eastern time. So please come and join us. Like, subscribe, do it all. You know exactly what to do. Tiger,
Yep.
I'll see you on Thursday. All right, my friend.
All right, brother. Take care.
All right.
Back
Have a
in.
good
Thanks
one,
a lot.
guys.
See you guys in the morning. All righty.
See ya.
All right. Bye.
Hola Prime. Trade with transparency.